Good morning, Axial scale builders around the world. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and you are now watching Scale Wars, Axial's official Battle of the Builders. Alright, everybody, welcome back to Scale Wars. I'm kind of stoked today. We've got a good episode ahead of us. We've got three pretty amazing builds. These guys, they put in work. We'll just call this like the caged SEX10 episode because these ones are all featuring some cool cage work. Some of it's plastic, some of it's metal, but it's all based off of SEX10 chassis. We've got a Bronco, we've got a Jeep, and we've got a Toyota today. So I'm pretty excited. I'm a little sleepy still, but let's get into this. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday morning, and hopefully this is a start to a great weekend for you. See you guys on the battleground. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the battleground. First up, we have Mr. Chris Siembieda, I believe is how you say that. And if I am not saying that correctly, Chris, I do apologize. As many of you have probably caught on to by now, I suck at pronouncing people's names. Chris hails all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, here in the United States. He is 34 years of age. And let's see, he's been okay. So when it comes to subscribing to ESP, he says, I've been watching you for a while, only just subscribed, wish I had done it a long time ago. Chris, I forgive you, man. Welcome aboard, and thank you very much for your subscription. I do appreciate it. And as far as how long he's been building RCs, he's been building since 1990. So he's pretty much veteran status. That's quite a while. Now, project name here, this one he calls the Behemoth 2.0 SCX10. And I think it's pretty rare you hear of a Toyota called the Behemoth, but this thing looks like it probably fits the bill. I like that. And now, as far as the detailed parts list goes for this bad boy, let's get into this here. It looks like he's got quite a bit listed. He says custom chassis work, rear shock towers, TJRC high clearance Delrin skid plate, Vanquish CMS setup, RC 4x4 stainless links, RPM rod ends, front axle SCX10 housing with overdrive Axial HD diff gears, locked up FI spool, modified Axial XR10 universals, TJRC narrow XR mod brass axle tubes, SSD C hubs, deluxe fab brass weighted knuckles. Rear axle is SEX10 housing, Axial aluminum lockouts, underdrive Axial HD diff gears, locked up FI spool, TJRC standard SEX10 aluminum axle tubes, STRC aluminum trans case full of Robinson Racing gears, RC 4-wheel drive Delrin spur gear, Robinson Racing pinion, MIP drive shafts. Rear is SEX10 length with extended Wraith outputs on each end. Shocks are RC 4-wheel drive RRD crawlers, 90mm front, 110mm rear with RC 4-wheel drive twin hammer trailing arms. Vanquish Curry sway bars, custom upper links. And the body is an RC 4-wheel drive Mojave, pinched with fender trim up front, pinched, bobbed, and fender trim in the rear. And then the interior is mostly custom styrene, 5-point racing belts, 3D printed racing gauge above the wheel, gearhead gauges, custom B&M bandit shifter. Driver and passenger figures are the Street League Pro Flex figures that have been extensively lightened. Lighting is courtesy of Quality LED products carried by my employer and his and LHS Vivid Aerial RC. Light bar is from One Too Many RCs. It's the rigid slim bar. And let's see, wheels are genuine Vanquish, down with cheap knockoffs, he says. KMC XD 795. 2.2 with Proline Hyrax 1.9 tires and Proline dual stage inserts. So, alright, it's got 1.9s wrapped on 2.2s. Wheels are genuine. Oh, I already said that. Recovery equipment is RC four-wheel drive Warren mini winch, locally made custom land anchor, RC four-wheel drive ARB recovery straps, and heavy-duty tow ropes made by himself, and locked up 300-pound winch line and a stainless steel hook. Electronics are Castle Mamba Max Pro, Holmes Hobbies Trailmaster 13.5 turn brushless, shout out Holmes Hobbies, Castle 10 amp BEC, high-tech 7950 servo with a Vanquish servo horn, Hey-OK winch and light controllers, and a 5 to 12 volt step-up regulator for the lights. Hardware is all thanks to Team K&K Hardware. Shout out Team K&K Hardware. And build classification, he classifies this as a trail truck. And, well, he says it's a trail truck. He also says it's, you know, used as a crawler / U4 bouncer. So basically, it's kind of a well-rounded rig is what he's getting at here. Let's see. He rates this on a scale of 1 to 10. He rates this an 8. And let's see, who would he like to give a shout out to? I know I keep saying let's see. Who would he like to give a shout out to? Vivid Aerial RC, Holmes Hobbies, Locked Up, TJRC, Vanquish, Team K&K, Jimmy Hedge Chassis Work, Middle Tennessee Rock Crawler Stuff, Clarksville Crawlers, and that's it. So, let's take a look at this beast. That was quite the list we just had to spout off there. I need a little drink of coffee. Now, what do you guys think? First impression. How you feeling about this? Me personally, I think this reminds me of the old TTC days. This thing looks like it does work. It looks like it is meant to go places. The way he built it looks like he spends a lot of time on the forums. Probably, I don't know which ones. I'm guessing probably RC Crawler or like something like that. I don't know. This is definitely a performance-based build right here. But he didn't hold back on the scale detail, man. He kept it all lightweight and performance-based, but he went in on the scale stuff. I mean, look at this thing. I see a lot of details here. You know, as far as accessories go, you see the standard stuff, the shovel, you see the extinguisher, you see what looks like a nitrous bottle over here. You see fuel line. What else you see? You see a winch in there. Looks like possibly sway bar action right there. You see your tow strap, extra rope and tow rope. Got this little monster thing up there just for fun. It looks like, yeah, I got the recovery anchor, the land anchor, pull pal, whatever you want to call it. It looks like he's got this set up to really do work. He could probably run any form of event with this as long as it allows for this type of setup. And yeah, very impressive. So let's go on through his pictures here. I like it. Now, when it comes to the front of this thing, I like it a lot. It's hard to, well, my screen's flashing on me. It's hard to really go into the scale detail on the front because there's not a lot of scale detail, but I do like this. I see what looks like carbon fiber hood. It's really beat up, but carbon fiber hood. Looks like he added mesh to the grill. He's got his lights in there. He's got his fair lead. He's got his worn toe strap thing here. I forget what that's called. He's got a lot of stuff going on. Here's his CMS kit he was talking about. Geometry looks on point. Looks good. XR mod. The whole thing, I'm not sure what that's there for, but the whole thing's looking pretty beast, to be honest with you. It looks like you put some thought into this. You put some time and effort into it, and you definitely set it up for your own personal liking, and I respect that. I like it a lot. I like that the light bar is tucked inside right there. That's a good look. Yeah, it's looking good, man. It reminds me more of an Ultra 4 rig, like the everyday or the Everyman Challenge rig. That's what it reminds me of. Nice shot right here of the interior. Look at the gauges. Oh yeah, so he's got his digital dash readout, plus he's got his traditional gauges as well. Most likely, you know, basic stuff, I would guess, like your fuel, your oil pressure, things like that, temp gauge. Oh man, this is really great, dude. You did a good job here. The glue sucks, but I know how that goes. There's really no way around that. It just is what it is. Yeah, I mean, there is. You can be a little cleaner about it, but it looks to me like it's broken off before, and you just went ahead and glued it back on just to get it to stay there. See, the co-driver is holding something over there, or the passenger. I'm not sure what he's holding, but yeah, I like it, man. You're missing your door handle, but I like how beat up it is, too. That just shows how much you drive it. I also like that you managed to get it caged up inside a little bit. It is perfect, and this coffee is delicious. All right, I like it, man. You did a good job. This is really cool. Now, maybe some netting would be good on this side, like some window netting, because this does look like a U4 rig. I mean, I don't know if you really would need it, but I mean, with this cage work and the way you got the body all pinched in. But then again, it's a Toyota, and most Toyotas are like crawler base. I don't know if they even use netting for the Everyman Challenge level of vehicles and King of the Hammers, but just a thought. I don't know, just a thought. Yeah, let's keep going. I really like this one, man. There you can get a profile shot. Now you guys can see when he's talking about how he's got the the nose pinched and the rear pinched and all that stuff. I don't know how exactly he referred to it on this thing. I was trying to read the piece of paper over here, but I can't find it. But when you look at, I'll just zoom in and use the mouse here. You see the line here, how pinched in this is. Look how much tire is showing here, how much tire is sticking out. And then you go to the back and you see how it's pinched in. Look how much tire is sticking out. So now when he's going through the rock, and this thing is going to perform like a buggy. I mean, it's got all tire on all four corners, his entry, exit, breakover, and his the outside touching points, contact points are all tire. So everything you're going to hit is basically all tire. And then obviously you can see he hits along here when he's probably wedging this thing through stuff. But I imagine that's only on extreme circumstances. Nice profile shot right there. Good look at the setup he's got going on here. He's got the Curry anti-rock sway bars back there. He's got these wheels look great. I love how you added the disc brakes. All the Team K&K hardware up in there looks good. Yeah, man, I like how you did this with the sway bars. I was looking at that on the, we'll get to it in a minute, but I was looking at the under photo earlier, and I really like how you did the sway bar setup. Reminds me of somebody who's probably going to be on the next episode. We'll be talking about his setup. Yeah, I like it, man. The Hyrax tires look great on there. I heard great things about those tires. It looks good, man. There's not a whole lot to beat up on this. I'm looking for things I could really beat up on, but this is a rock crawler. This is something you're going to see out on a actual trail, something that's out running like serious rocks, like what I film at Groundhog or something like that. Like this is a real rock crawler. I like it. You can see if this was a real vehicle and they had done all this to it. The front end stretched out a little bit. The back end stretched out a little bit. It's chopped in. It's narrowed. Everything is done properly to do the performance on this. Now, there's no mirrors. There's no door handles. That bugs me, but would you really have them on this? You wouldn't have mirrors, probably. They'd be long gone. But door handles, yes, I do believe you would have door handles, so I would like to see you get some door handles back on that. Maybe fix them on really good, make sure they don't come off. Yeah, let's keep going. Am I going the right way? There we go. This is passenger side, because where he's at, obviously, so he's holding a monster. That's what he's holding. I was wondering what he was holding in there. Monster in the right hand and the OSH in the left hand. So I like it. I like it a lot. Once again, though, door handles. Got to get them door handles on there, man. It's just a must, in my opinion. If you're not going to have the door handles, then make the door look beat up right here. Like, damage it so it looks like you can't open it anyways. Damage it maybe at the hinges or like it would be in real life, to where it's just like, okay, it doesn't matter. We just climb in and out the windows. So, all right, keep moving. And I'm going the wrong way again. Oh, nice shot right here. You can see in the back, that is a nitrous bottle that we were talking about earlier. I like the scale hardware up here. I would like to see some more scale hardware on your wheels. I noticed that you have good hardware. You have Team K&K hardware and stuff, but I would like to see, I know you're using Team K&K hardware for performance in here, but on these outer rings, having scale hardware would look really nice. Just throwing that out there. But what else can you see in here? I see a battery. It's just about it. I see your jack. Yeah, I think that's everything here. You can see the harness is kind of a little better too. Yeah, it's looking good, man. Here's the rear shot. See the sway bar action. You can also see the toe strap, which is hooked onto the sway bar and locked in place with locking collars. So pretty smart move right there. I like that. And if this sway bar is tough enough, that shouldn't be much of an issue. I mean, I wouldn't want to yank on that too hard, but I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. So yeah, that looks good. Well done, man. The axles are pretty plain, pretty bland, but there's not a whole lot you really need to do to this, honestly, anyways. So, and I saw that you have the brake disc. Aftermarket axle housings would be probably the next step if it was me, like the SSDs or the Voodoo housings. Just stick with the plastic, you know. I like the plastic housings. I know why you stuck with them. It's all for performance. And those ones are SSD and Voodoo. They both make plastic housings that are pretty good looking and pretty good on performance too. Let's keep it moving. Another profile shot. You can really see those disc brakes there. Yeah, it looks good, man. I like that you got the inner fender wells. The shocks look good. Were those the Proline scalers, I think he said? I forget. They look good. I like it all, man. This thing is really a beast. I can only imagine how it drives. Whoa, don't delete it. Almost deleted the photo. There's the undershot. That's what I was wanting to get to, was this right here. These are like my favorite shots, are the undercarriage shots, because then I can really see what we're working with here. I see his lighting under there a little better. You can see his axles are definitely getting some abuse. Axial links, look at those things, are ground in real nice. You use a lot of zip ties. I've noticed that there's a ton of zip ties on this. Maybe a little too many zip ties, but I do like that you're using them, at least, because it's keeping things nice and tidy. I love the panel work that you did. I see that. I can definitely see the panel work. Delrin skid right here. For those of you that don't know, this is just for performance purposes. Phone's going on. It's extremely hideous, but Delrin is slick. It's basically like a self-lubricating plastic, and it is great for sliding over rocks. It looks good. You know what would look really nice on here, honestly, would be a big custom skid plate that just covers the majority of this up and comes between the links and everything. That would look awesome. It goes from all the way out here, all of this, and then comes in and just all of this. That would look great. Just my opinion, just something I'd like to throw out there for you. I'm curious, what's this blue tube right here? Anybody know what this is? Long blue tube running all the way to the front. Is that winch line? It is winch line. So his winch is mounted in the back. I just figured out what that is. Okay, so his winch line runs through this tube right here. Pretty slick, man. Pretty slick. That'll keep it from getting caught up on anything. Keeps it from having any resistance. That's a smart move. I like that a lot. Definitely get a thumbs up for innovation. I'm not sure if you picked that up from somewhere else, but that's the first time I've seen that, and I like it. MIPs are well used. Yeah, that's about it, man. This thing looks great. Custom links in the back. I like that you use these twin hammer trailing arms in the back. This is something I'm seeing a lot more lately. I've got another one we're going to see hopefully tomorrow. We'll be going over, and it has trailing, or not tomorrow, but the next episode, next Saturday, and it has trailing arms too. But anyways, all right, so let's keep it moving. There's the man himself. There's Mr. Chris, rocking his RC four-wheel drive stuff, repping hard on his truck. You can see all his sponsors there. I believe they're sponsors. I don't know if he's sponsored by them or not, but it's definitely who he's shouting them out to. Radio's on point. What radio is that? I like that radio. Yeah, man. props to you. Looks like he's got a camera tucked in there too. I love to see that. And what is this? That looks like a car seatbelt. That is cool. Chris, give me some information on this. I really like this. That's cool. All right, buddy. Thank you very much for entering in. I really appreciate it. I believe that's the last photo. Yes, it is. You guys give him some feedback in the comments. Let him know what you think of this rig. I have a feeling the majority of you guys are going to like it, or you're going to hate it because it's a Toyota. Me personally, I'm not a big Toyota fan, but I respect them. Oh, there, now you can see that cooler too. I didn't notice that before, but you can see some more recovery gear there, and you can see the cooler, Griffin radiator. That's awesome. You can also see some dash work, carbon fiber dash work. I like that too. But anyways, give him some feedback, you guys. This gentleman put a lot of time and effort in this, as you can clearly see. And I'm a fan. I think it looks great. So on to the next build. On to the next build. And for those of you that are wondering, if you want to follow all the scores, see who's winning, well, you know, basically see who's winning, because it's an ongoing competition. So you can, people are not only competing, you know, during this series, these three are going against each other, but we also have people, you know, series to series, who's got the highest score overall. I mean, if you're curious to see who currently holds the crown of Scale Wars, then you're going to want to go to www.extremescaleperformance.com /scale-wars.html. I'm starting to memorize this. It's really hard for me. Anyways, the link will be in the description below, and what you want to do is scroll down to the bottom there, and you will see all of the scores. And if you are interested in submitting your own build and being part of Scale Wars and getting in on all this fun and this action, then go ahead and on that same page, fill out the form. Make sure that your vehicle is Axial based, and by Axial based, I've got it listed right there. It needs to be Axial chassis, or cage work, or skid, or whatever, but it needs to be Axial based as far as that's concerned. If I can't put Axial ring and pinion in it, if I can't put Axial CVs in it, or CVDs in it, if I can't put Axial transmission gears in it, then it is not Axial based. It needs to have Axial transmission, Axial based axles, and an Axial based chassis, not an aftermarket chassis that was designed after an Axial one, but truly an Axial one. It may be an Axial chassis with a aftermarket chassis added onto it, but it needs to be an Axial chassis. So anyways, on to the next build. Alright, you guys, we have our second entry here today at Scale Wars, and this one I'm a little bit more familiar with, honestly. This one belongs to a friend of mine down in Nevada. This gentleman's name is Joey Allen, and he also goes by the tag or online name of NV Ghost Rider. He is a fellow CKRC man. He is really, he's just a good guy all around. This guy does a lot for the hobby and doesn't really ask for any attention for it. I mean, he's just always in the shadows, doing work. I mean, I don't really know how else to put it, but I always see his efforts, and I salute him for that. He hails all the way from Fallon, F-A-L-L-O-N, Nevada, and he is 39 years of age. He's been subscribed to Extreme Scale Performance for 3 years-ish, he says. And thank you very much for that subscription, sir. You know I appreciate it. And I am sorry, guys. I'm not sure if that's showing up on the recording or not, but for some reason, my monitor is flashing right now. I think that I got a bad driver going on here. Now, he said he started building RCs in 2010, and this project that we're looking at here, he calls this the Creature, K-R-E-T-U-R-E. So the Creature. It's an Axial SCX-10 deadbolt frame. Now, as far as the detailed parts list goes for this bad boy, I'm going to zoom in on it a little bit so you guys can take a peek at it here and just go ahead and get your feel for it. But it is a fairly long list, so I'm going to try to bump through it kind of fast. Now, the chassis is Wordy-made built cage based on Harley Design's Woods Runner template, stock SCX-10 chassis rails and skid, Soon to be replaced, though, by SMW high clearance skid. So he will have an upgraded skid here soon. RC four-wheel drive chassis mounted servo plate and cross members. Vanquish Products shock hoops. G-made 94mm shocks. Simple hand-fabbed aluminum electronics trays. BPC Lil Guy battery tray. Axial plastic rock sliders. The transmission is a VP AX10 pattern trans case with hot racing steel gears. Super shafty beefy top shaft. Robinson Racing Gen 3 slash steel spur gear. Slipper clutch the slipper clutch is Robinson Racing. I said that wrong. Slash steel spur gear and slipper clutch. Robinson Racing hardened pinion gear. 5612 Holmes Hobbies Chromoly AX10. Torque Master outdrive. Axial wild bore HD drive shafts. Axles are VP SDX AX10 axle housings, axial hardened UD gears, or for those of you that don't know UD, it's underdrive gears. Holmes Hobbies lockers, VP VVDs, locked up rear axle. Let's see, locked up rear axle shaft. Sorry about that, guys. The way this is showing up on my screen, it's like a big long run-on sentence. VP Stage 1, VP SCX Panhard hand-fitted 3-link mount. Solid links from R2J and a few all-thread links by himself. Traxxas Revo rod ends, axial aluminum hexes. The electronics are Holmes Hobbies BLE waterproof ESC, Holmes Hobbies 2700 kV Trailmaster Waterproof Edition brushless motor, a Castle Creations BEC, Savix 120 or Savix 1283 SG servo with the next level horn on it, Airtronics MXV TX Airtronics 371 RW RX, gearhead light bar on bumper and light pod for rock light, Turnigy 2200 milliamp 60C3S lipos. As far as the body and scale stuff goes, which we're definitely going to get into here in a minute with this bad boy. I know this is, you guys are itching to see this. I'm digging the wheels already, but now as far as the body and scale stuff goes, it's Proline Bronco body for Axial Wraith, hood mod with Velcro retention, handmade fuel cell and quick fill spare tire rack made from SCX10 tall rear body brace mount, Axial spare wheel with bogger, spare tire and Delrin front ring, trimmed bomber top tray, roof cut and formed from an old plastic pistol box, body trimmings used for front inner fender wells, Proline PL painted green in driver side fender wells. The wheels and tires are Vanquish Products 2.2 Method 105s with 850 SLW hubs and hardware. Crawler Innovation Deuce Wild Mad Beast profile phones 1.9 Axial BFG crawlers, miscellaneous fast eddy bearings, screw loose hardware, and gunner pins throughout. All paint colors, it's simple pearl base with purple and green accents, based with gunmetal gray, and it gives a subtle gray purple green color change. Future plans, let's see, scale hardware and plumbing for fuel cell quick fill setup, and then matching spare tire, trade pending. Nice. Hand paint, what did you say, hand paint bomber interior, aluminum bed floor and bed sides just inside rear cage rails, scale lugs for wheel hubs, lighting for headlights and tail lights, and construct modular scale accessories, bed floor to dismount when not needed for various tech inspections, i.e. like Axial Fest, I'm assuming. Most of these parts have been secured and used over the last 3 years. I made some extra funds just before Christmas and took advantage of seasonal sales, splurging on the methods. The first and only higher end wheels I've bought new despite owning a dozen nice wheel sets. Budget building a hardcore rig can be a long process, but is well worth it. I agree with that statement. I definitely agree with that. Now, as far as this build classification goes, he classifies this as a trail truck. and also as a crawler U4 bouncer classification. So when you guys go to fill out the form, you'll see what I mean when I talk about classification. I give you guys options to choose there. And then as far as rating his own build on a scale of 1 to 10, he rates it a 7. So that's a reasonable rating. Now, as far as who he would like to give shout outs to, he doesn't have too long of a list, but he's got a decent list here. He says he would like to thank all vendors, large and small, that made these parts accessible, retailers for parts and moral support, everyone that participates in the hobby, and his family. All the crazy Envy and NorCal groups and people, Axial Racing for being an accessible and participating group of people that share their lives and support as friends do. Well said. And he says he'd like to thank CKRC Hobbies for taking the RC hobby scene in Northern Nevada by storm. Great people, good times. I couldn't agree any more with that statement. CKRC is awesome. NVRC, our local hobby group, Team Gold Blonde, Wordy Maiden Family. He says there's none better. I agree with that as well. A lot of my own sponsors were mentioned in that. So big shout out to all those people, and a big shout out to you, Joey, for entering your build. Thank you very much. Now we're going to dive into this bad boy. I am eager to see what we're working with here. Let me fix this mic here. Now, personally, my first impression is it looks aggressive. It looks like a race rig. It looks like it's meant to do work. Definitely has Ultra 4 taste to it as far as the cage work and stuff goes, and just it looks like it's meant to do some racing, but it also looks like it's meant to do some hardcore rock crawling and some nice trail riding. So it's just a good looking build overall. Judging by the terrain you're on currently, it looks like it does work as well. So this is Axial Fest. I remember this trail actually. So yeah, awesome, man. Let's go ahead and take a better look here. Front end shot. Looks good. I like it. You can see all the different panels here. Did a pretty good job of getting them to come together. Maybe just trim it up a little bit or adjust it so you can get this to close up a little better. Now, given this might have been taken during, like an actual trail run at Axial Fest, so, it could have been pinched up a little bit, but maybe fix that a little. Like you said, you're doing some upgrades with the lights and everything, so I can't really beat you up too much for it, but they're not done yet, so definitely get the lights in there. I would like to see that for sure. Vanquish stuff looks good down here. Axles look like they're definitely taking a beating. Same with the links. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I like it. Let's keep going. Now, rear shot here. I kind of like this. It's a little out of focus up top, which is fine. I mean, you're a photo guy, I know. It looks good. I like it. I can see the fuel cell. I like that you have the spare back there. You did mention you're going to get it matching here soon, so that'll be nice. Stickers representing for your peoples. That's awesome. Yeah, it looks good, man. There's not a lot really to say about it. It's pretty simple back here. It looks good. It'd be cool if this tailgate folded down. That'd be awesome. But yeah, it looks good, man. It's really simple. It's like race truck in the back, so there's not a whole lot to see here. I'd like to see a toe strap, maybe some recovery gear would look nice up in here. Yeah, some brake disc would be nice, just like we saw in the last one. I'm a big fan of the brake disc. Maybe get some matching washers on there, because that looks a little funky. You got one big one, one little one. Again, the lights, like you said, you're going to do that, but just got to point it out. Yeah, not too much I can say there. It looks pretty good, though. Just scale details. That's the important part. Now, this is my issue with Lexan bodies. Is this type of stuff, right? Like, how do you fix this? How do you make this look more realistic? Because that doesn't look realistic at all to me. It looks like a door handle is inside the door trying to push its way out. Like, I don't like Lexan bodies because of that. But, I understand. I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just saying that's an issue for me, because I'd much rather see a three-dimensional item there. Maybe, you could It's not really even worth doing though on most Lexan bodies. But if you wanted to, you could always cut that out and put in something more three-dimensional. Just saying, just throwing that out there. But obviously, look at all these scratches. He uses it a lot, so I like to see that. The cage work scratched up. I can't really see much on the interior. You know, it looks like it's, what is that? Maybe a Yeti interior or a bomber interior or something. You guys, I'm sure you guys in the comments can correct me. There he is doing work on the cage. You can see it's actual SCX-10 frame rails, but he's got cage mounted up to it. I like that. Actually, that's Wordy made right there. That's Mr. Wordy, I believe, doing that, isn't it? Yeah, that's Wordy. So shout out to Wordy made. He made it on Scale Wars without even entering. And then let's go ahead. We'll keep moving. There we go. For those of you that don't know about Wordy made is quite the fabricator, and he's just a great guy. You always see him at Axial Fest. Let's see. Method's looking good. Now, in my opinion, I think what you need here is some scale hubs. Without scale hubs, it just doesn't complete the look. You know, or I should say the scale hubs complete the look. Having scale hubs and scale hardware just completes the look. I'm a fan of the Vanquish Method wheels. I know they're rock solid. I've got these exact wheels myself in a different color, so I know they're awesome. I would just like to see, you know, a little bit more attention to detail there. What else, man? What else is there to really say about this? I like that you got the, you know, inner fenders and stuff made. You, like you said, you used the scrap material from the body and really made use of what was laying around. I'm a big fan of that. Are these the stock SCX-10 rails or skids? I like that. If they are, I mean, they look good on here, honestly. I like it. Most of the time, I'm not a big fan of them on aftermarket cage stuff and aftermarket builds like this, but really, those look really nice. Yeah, let's keep moving. Here we go. We can see from the top in. So our fuel cell. It's got the cap in it. Got a little bit of a bed thing going on here. Looks pretty good. Pretty basic back there, but it's race truck, you know, there's not a whole lot you could do. Maybe get some recovery gear would really, really help out. Yeah, it's not a lot, man. Just lights. You need lights. It looks good. Mirrors, door handles would be really nice. Even like a rear view mirror in here would be nice or something. Yeah, but you have a spare right there. Some kind of mirrors. Mirrors are just, I hate it when there's no mirrors or door handles. Now these are door handles, so I can't really beat up on you on that, but the mirrors would help bring it to life, I guess. But man, great job. This thing looks awesome. The paint is really popping. You could tell that when this was brand new paint, it probably looked amazing. Yeah, man, it's not too bad. It really isn't. I have a feeling it does work. I love the stance on it. Yeah, it's really good. Now, what I would really like to see, honestly, is if you just pulled this interior out and built one. You know, built yourself a dash, put a floorboard in there, mounted some seats, built a center console, started mounting switches, gauges, things like that. That would really bring this up to a whole nother level. But this is a great start, and like you said, it's a budget build, and budget-wise, doing this type of interior is the best way to save your money. However, when you're ready to step it up to that next level, or you've got that money saved up to do that, or you want to just, you could do it all by hand. You know, I mean, you're going to have to anyways, but you could do it all cheap out of plastic, and really it wouldn't be too expensive, but it's going to take some time. But I really like this, though. Overall, just the feel of this build is nice. It's simplistic, but also really, really performance-based. Rock lights underneath. I like that. Looks clean. Wiring's not bad. I didn't really mention much on the wiring on the other one, but the wiring wasn't too bad on the other one either. It was a little bit messier than this, but this is looking nice, actually. This isn't messy at all. I mean, look at this. You can see even the 3 motor wires are real close together right there. You can see the sensor wire coming out here, and they all curve and just disappear. The wiring's actually really nice on this. winch wire, I think, right there. Yeah, good job on the wiring. Great job, actually. Even the wires coming out of the rock lights are loomed up or whatever. They're putting heat shrink, so I know I'm yawning. Somebody said today on my Facebook, stop yawning on your videos. It's contagious. Sorry. Oh, there's the man himself. What's going down, Joey? Now, this guy, you'll see him walking around Axial Fest. He's actually a good guy. You see him, run up, say hi to him, man. He is one of the best guys you'll meet. He's always spreading positivity. He's always spreading, like, good vibes out there in the community and pushing people and helping people. And he's just a great guy. He's done a lot of blog writing and he's all over, man. Like I said, he's always in the shadows helping people out. Never really asking for anything in return, and I'd like to give him a little credit for that. This guy, he helps a lot of people out, and he's always promoting for everybody without being asked. So, big shout out to you, Joey. Thank you for entering your build. I like it a lot. You guys, give him some feedback in the comments. Let him know what you'd like to see improved on this. There's plenty of room for improvement. Me personally, the lights are a big part of it. I mean, he mentioned most of the stuff I'd like to see improved, but the lights are a big part of it. Finishing off the detail on these wheels. I mean, when you spend that much money on these wheels, I would say just spend the extra, get all the scale hardware, get the scale hubs, get the scale disc brakes, and really make these things just shine. There's not a lot else to say on here. Maybe get your stickers on point. Just having that one Axial Racing, that one word he made is a little funky looking. Get some, feng shui about your stickers, I guess. Get their placement on point to where it looks a little cooler. Maybe put them all up here, or put this down here, run them straight across the bottom, add a couple more to go with them. But get them, to where they're not so sporadic looking. Shout out to Wordy. That guy is just a monster. And yeah, that's really it, man. You guys give him that love, give him that feedback. Check his score over on the website, www.extremescaleperformance.com/scale-wars.html. And that is it for this one. On to the next entry. It'll be our final entry. Oh, there goes the coffee pot. I had to refill on the coffee real quick. All right, you guys. The third and final contestant for today's battle is Alfonso Acevedo. Oh, Lord. Acevedo. Sir, I am sorry. I'm sorry. I fail at this whole name pronunciation thing. But Alfonso, it's either Acevedo or Acevedo. Oh, man, I try. I fail. All right, this gentleman is hailing all the way from El Paso, Texas. He is 43 years of age, and he has been, well, let's see, he says, been watching you for a while, but just subscribed. Well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that, sir, and I'm glad to have you on the team. Now, let's go ahead and kind of look into this here. He started building in 2012, so he's been building for a while now, but not as long as you would think by looking at this build right now. This specific project, he calls the Trail Jeep. Real to the point. It's just a Trail Jeep. And as far as the detailed parts and paints list go, let's get into this real quick. Axial frame, axial shocks, axial axles, axial over-unders, MIP drive shafts, Vanquish 1.9 method roost wheels, RC 4-wheel drive 1.9 rock locks tires, Vanquish hubs, Savix 1283 steering servo, beef tubes, beef tips, beef tubes, beef patties up front only, the scale shop knuckles, axial C-hubs, axial CVDs, RC 4x4 steering links, Holmes Hobbies Crawlmaster 13-turn motor, Holmes Hobbies Torquemaster BR Mini, Castle BEC, custom tube work by Mullins Chassis Works, club member. I think he says he's a club member, or it was a club member that did it. I'm not really sure. Handmade sand rails, handmade antenna, handmade high lift, HR hardened transmission gears, AX10 transmission, AX10 skid, Proline fuel cell, Proline cooler, Yeah Racing NOS bottle, Axial lights, Wraith Spawn interior, Axial radiator, Jeep hard body, painted red with Krylon spray paint. And that is it. And I'm going to have to backtrack because this man said handmade sand rails, handmade antenna, handmade high lift. That's nice. Nice. I love to see some handmade stuff. So let's go ahead and take a peek here. Let's see what we're looking at. What do you think? Say it seems to be an ongoing trend with these wheels. All right. So first thing I'm saying is Scale hardware. Got to get that Scale hardware in there. At least get the Scale hubs. If you don't have the Scale hubs, but you got the Scale hardware, it looks funny. If you don't have the Scale hardware, but you got the Scale hubs, it looks decent, but it's still, if you got Scale hubs, it really helps out. So I recommend that. Get them Scale hubs, get that Scale hardware, at least on the wheels. The cage work looks phenomenal. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Cage work is awesome. Second thing I'm going to say is, where is your windshield wipers and where is your I guess you wouldn't have windshield wipers because you took your windshield completely off, so you probably wouldn't need them. And you don't have any mirrors, which I guess you really wouldn't need either. This thing's really just a buggy. It's not much of a Jeep at this point. Let's see. Hood does not look like it opens separately, but I would like to see the hood open separately. That'd be really cool. I wish I could just spin this picture around like it was 3D. That would be awesome. Axial shocks look great in there. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? The cage work, welding work, all that stuff looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. The back, I kind of like what I'm seeing, but I can't really make out too much detail. One thing that is bugging me is this. One thing, and a lot of people do mention this about some of these builds that we get, and it's not, any hate or shade thrown at anybody. It's actually a fun thing, and I know that's why people do this. It's just, it's fun. It's flair. It's, pizzazz, whatever you want to call it. It's their little swag. It's their thing, right? People like to put different drivers in that mean certain things to them. Like, for instance, my buddy Jared likes to put Baba Fett or whatever his name is, I think. And he likes, certain video games and movies, so he gets characters from certain games and movies and puts in there. So I get why people do it. But what I would like to see more of is I would like to see somebody start manufacturing some realistic characters specifically for the purpose of being put in as drivers. And that would be amazing. I would like to see more of that. I mean, I know there's some out there, but there's not that many, and I'd really like to see a lot more. So anyways, let's go through these pictures of this Jeep. I'm really liking it. You guys know I like Jeeps. This thing's got a lot of custom work to it, and it's looking pretty beast, honestly. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, man, it's real simple, performance-based. The Axial Gen 1 housings, I really like how he's got the knuckles and everything up front. It just looks beefy, man. It looks really solid. But with all this work done to these axles and to these wheels and stuff, I'd really like to see those Scale hubs. I can't stress that enough. He's got the rock lights underneath. Good job on the wiring. I see you. Yeah, buddy. I see a Dean's plug up there. I guess maybe that's for a battery that's not installed right now. Let's see. Excuse me. Slide down here. Skid is factory. It's pretty beat. It's nice. It's not that beat though, honestly. Looks like it could use some more drive time. I like it. It looks good, man. I like it. Maybe. I mean, I was gonna say you could throw on the spur gear cover would help this look a little bit more realistic. Not that much, but a little bit. Oh, dog barking. So, anyways, all in all, the bottom of this looks pretty good, man. Your wiring looks pretty good. The Axial lights, I know those are kind of a pain to wire in, just because, I don't know, the way they're all hooked together and everything, you got to try to make them fit, and they're never the right length for what you need them. They're either too long or too short or whatever. It's how it is with 90% of the light kits you get out there, but you did a good job with it. You really made it look good. Some disc brakes in the back would look nice. You got a shock leak problem there. But that just shows it's getting used. Yeah, it's how most of my shocks look. I like it, man. You did a good job. Underneath it looks real clean, real organized. That's what I like to see. There's nothing really for me to beat up on here. I was looking for something I could kind of nitpick at, and yeah, there's nothing really too bad, honestly. Lots of zip ties again, but you guys know how it is. Zip ties are sometimes the best option. What I would recommend doing, though, would be taking these zip ties and spinning that, whoop, and putting the locking part out of view. Maybe like up top where you don't see it. That would make it look a little better. But other than that, it looks good, man. It looks really good. Let's keep moving. Alright, now we're talking. Look at the back here. Some scale detail. There's his handmade stuff he was talking about. Handmade high lift jack. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's what I was looking for. Oh, he's even got a little plate down there. Was that Texas Lone Star State? That's sweet, man. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea right there. That's a smart move. Got the cooler, got the tow strap set up, winch set up. Is there a winch? Nope, it's just tow strap set up with the D-ring, a hook. There's his antenna, fuel cell, nitrous, radiator. It looks awesome, man. This is a sweet looking rig. Now here's where my gripe is, and that's with the interior. I love that you've done some customizing to it, and you've tried to like bring it to life a little bit, but I hate the fact that it's a half interior. That bugs me. That's not a steering wheel. That's a piece of molded plastic. And so that's what I'm not a fan of doing these interiors. I feel like it's I just feel like it's not much effort to do that, and I'd like to see more effort put into the interiors. So maybe create your own dash and floor pan, firewall, tunnel, and then add seats and see what you can get out of that, and then start hunting for figures that can fit. I mean, that's just my 2 cents. You can cut these doors to open, would be cool too. And I know it's going to be a challenge, but that's what all this is about, right? So I like it though. It looks good, man. It looks good. Good job on the sticker placement right here. I stick stickers in that exact same spot. So yeah, it looks good. I like it a lot. And I also noticed you got scale hardware on your sand ladders, so you should get some more of that scale hardware for your wheels. Keeping it going. Up top, look. Mullins chassis works. Yeah, it looks good, man. It looks nice. The cage work looks cool. Yeah, it looks like, honestly, this thing looks like it does work. It looks like it's really ready to rock. We're missing lights. I want to see some lights in there. Where are the lights? I would definitely like to see some lights. What I'd really like to see in there, since you got all this other stuff, go with the cues or like some sort of light pod action inside of there. Something really bright. Take it up a notch. That would be awesome. Yeah, it's not much to nitpick from the front of this. It looks good. Tires are getting nice and scrubbed. I like that. I mean, it just shows you really drive this thing. The geometry on everything is nice. Look at those links. If I switch to the next picture here, go to the rear end, it looks pretty good. Something looks kind of wonky though. I guess that's maybe the suspension. It's flexed out a little bit right here. I don't know. Can you guys see what I'm saying? Something seems off. I don't know if that's your cage work is out of alignment, or your dash is not aligned, or if it's just the way the suspension is set up. But definitely got something looks off right there. It could just be the angle. I don't know. You guys let me know. Do you see that? I think it's just because the axles are flexing. Front one's flexed one way, rear's flexed another a little bit. You can see by the length of the shock pistons right here that it's definitely flexed out. So maybe it's just messing with my eyes a little bit. But it looks good. I like that you got the lights in the back. Yeah, it looks solid, man. And I can't get over that Texas plate. It's a real nice touch right there. Nice shot of it doing work right there. Getting some of that steering angle. Lots of angle. Looks good. Need those lights in there though. The lights are really, really, that's something that's it would just add that extra touch. I'd also like to see a winch. I don't see a winch anywhere, so getting a winch and some lights on there would bring it to life a little bit. Maybe do some door handle paint here, change up the color on the door handle, or inside here add a little shadowing or something, add some paint detail. It's a little too toy looking as far as how the paint job's done. Man, though, I really like it. Overall, the profile and the stance of this Jeep is just really clean. It's really nice. The gray paint job on the cage is pretty cool looking too. Would like to see some more theme carried throughout this, though. I feel like it's just not finished. And there he is, man. Shout out to you. Let's see if I can pronounce it again. Alfonso Ace. I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to do it, man. Get at me in the comments. Let me know how to pronounce your name so I can get it right next time. I'm horrible at this, you guys. I'm going to start asking you guys to leave in, like, pronunciation when you write your name, just so I know how to say all these names. Anyways, you guys, give him some feedback. Let Alfonso know what you think about his Jeep and what he could do to improve it. I think it looks badass, personally. I think it's great. He did an awesome job. It just needs some finishing touches, just little things, you know, little detail work, and it would be on point. Hopefully I'll see it at Axial Fest doing work. Hopefully I'll see all these at Axial Fest doing work. Big thank you to all three submissions today, all three contestants, all three I don't know what you want to call them, warriors. You know, all three of these guys are willing to throw their builds down on the battleground, let me pick them apart. I really appreciate it, guys. I know a lot of people are kind of scared to do it still, so don't be scared. Just throw down, you guys. Enter your builds. Let the world see what you got to work with. It's not to really hurt anybody's feelings or to break anybody down. It's to build people up and spread positivity. Help kind of encourage people to step their own personal build game up. And you never know, it could be the smallest little thing could encourage somebody. The smallest little detail might spark someone's imagination, and they might come out with something just amazing because of that. So don't hold back, you guys. Submit your builds. Let's have fun with this. I've got a bunch right now. We're booked out. Good Lord. I want to say the next 20, 30 episodes. I mean, we've got a lot, but it doesn't matter. Just keep throwing them down. Here pretty soon, maybe we'll double up on episodes. You never know. Anyways, I'm going to get up out of here. I got a awesome weekend ahead of me, and I hope you guys do too. Stay safe, and you know what it is. I'm going to see you on the trails. Peace and chicken grease. Yeah.